Give you heavens and I will speak, and let the earth hear the words of my mouth. May my teaching drop as the rain and my speech distill as the dew. Like a gentle rain upon a tender grass, like the showers upon the earth. For I will proclaim the name of the Lord and ascribe a greatness to our God. The rockaway is perfect. The rock the way is perfect. Rock his way is perfect, for all his ways are justice. A God of faithfulness and without iniquity, just and upright is he. They have dealt corruptly with him. They are no longer his children, because they are blemished. A crooked and twisted generation, a crooked and twisted generation. Do you thus repay the Lord, you foolish and senseless people? Is he not your Father, who created you, who made you and established you? Do you thus repay the Lord, you foolish and senseless people? Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Oh, ask your Father, and he will show you. Ask your elders, and they will tell you. When the Most High gave to the nations their inheritance, when he divided mankind, fixed the borders of the peoples according to the numbers of the sons of God. But the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob his allotted heritage. But the Lord's portion is his people. Oh, you found him in a desert land, and in the howling waste of the wilderness. You found him in a desert land. He encircled him, he cared for him. He kept him as the apple of his eye, like an eagle that stirs up its nest. It flutters over its young, spreading out its wings, catching them and bearing them on its pinions. The Lord alone guided him. No foreign God was with him. He made him ride on the high places of the land. He ate the produce of the field. He suckled him with honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock, a curd from the herd, and milk from the flock, with the fat of the lambs, the rams of Bashan, and goes with the very finest of the wheat. And you drink the wine, the foaming wine, oh, made from the blood of the grape. But Jeshurun grew fat and kicked. You grew fat, stout and sleek. You grew fat. Then he forsook his God, who made him, and scoffed at the rock of his salvation. You grew fat. They stirred him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations. They stirred up his anger, provoked him to anger. They sacrificed to demons that were no gods, to gods they had never known, to no new gods, oh, to new gods, yeah. To new gods, to new gods that they had come recently. New gods that had come recently. To new gods that had come recently. To new gods that had come recently, recently. Whoa, to new gods whom your fathers had never dreaded. You were unmindful of the rock that bore you, the rock that bore you, the rock that bore you. Were unmindful of the rock that bore you, the that bore you the rock, that bore you. Were unmindful of the rock, that bore you the rock, that bore you the rock, that bore you. Were unmindful of the rock, that bore you the rock, that bore you the rock, that bore you. Were unmindful of the rock. You forgot the God who gave you birth, the rock that bore you the rock, that bore you the rock, that bore you. Were unmindful of the rock, that bore you the rock, that bore you the rock, that bore you. Were unmindful of the rock. You forgot the God who gave you birth. Whoa, the rock. You forgot the God who gave you birth. Whoa, the rock. You forgot the God who gave you birth. Unmindful of the rock, you forgot the God that gave you birth. Oh, you were unmindful of the rock that bore you the rock, that bore you the rock, that bore you. Were unmindful of the rock that bore you the rock, that bore you the rock, that bore you. Were unmindful of the rock, and you forgot the God who gave you birth. Unmindful of the rock, you forgot the God that gave you birth. Unmindful of the rock, you forgot the God who gave you birth. You were unmindful of the rock, and you forgot the God who gave you birth, who gave you birth. You were unmindful of the rock, and you forgot the God that gave you birth. The Lord saw it and spurned them because of the provocation of his sons and his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them, and I will see what their end will be. For they are a perverse generation, children whom is no faithfulness. Oh, for they are a perverse generation, children whom is no faithfulness. They have made me jealous with what is no God. They've provoked me to anger with their idols. So I'll make them jealous with those who are no people. Yeah. They have made me jealous with what is no God, and they've provoked me to anger with their idols. So I will make them jealous with those who are no people. I provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. Oh, for a fire is kindled by my anger, and it burns to the depths of Sheol, devours the earth and its increase, and sets the fire on the foundations of the mountains, and I will heap a disaster upon them, and I will spend my arrows on them, and they shall be wasted with hunger. Wasted with hunger, devoured by a plague. Wasted with hunger, and poisonous pestilence, and I will waste them with hunger, devoured by a plague, with poisonous pestilence, and I will send the teeth of the beast against them, with venom of things that crawl in the dust. Outdoors the sword shall bereave, and indoors tear. For the young man and the woman alike, the nurse and child, and the man of gray hairs, I would have said, I will cut them to pieces. I will wipe them away from human memory. Had I not had I not had I not fear provocation by the enemy, lest their adversaries should misunderstand, lest they should say, our hand is triumphant. It was not the Lord who did all this, but they are a nation void of counsel. There is no understanding in them. If they were wise, they would understand this. They would discern their ladder, and how could one have chased 1,000 and to have put 10,000 to flight? How could one have chased 1,000 unless the rock had sold them to have put 10,000 to flight? Unless the Lord had given them up. There is no God as our rock. Our enemies are by themselves. For their vine comes from the vine of Sodom, and from the fields of Gomorrah their grapes are grapes of poison, and their clusters are bitter, their wine is the poison of serpents, and the cruel venom of ours. Is not this laid up in store with me, yet sealed up in my treasuries? Vengeance is mine, and recompense for the time when their foot shall slip, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and their doom comes swiftly, for the Lord will vindicate his people and have compassion on his servants when he sees their power is gone. There is none remaining bond or free, then he will say, where are their gods? The rock in whom they take refuge, who ate of the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offerings. Let him rise up and help you. Let them be your protection. Let them rise up and help you. Let them be your protection. Let them rise up and help you. Let them be your protection. Let them rise up and help you. See now that I, even I am He, and there is no God beside me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and swear, as I live forever, if I sharpen my flashing sword and my hand takes hold on judgment, I will take vengeance on my adversaries and will repay those who hate me. And I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, with the blood of the slain and the captives, from the long-haired heads of the enemy. Rejoice with him, O heavens, bow down to him, O God, for he takes vengeance on the blood of his children. He avenges the blood of his children, and he takes vengeance on his adversaries, and he avenges the blood of his children, and he takes vengeance on all those who hate him. He repays those who hate him and cleanses his people's land. He takes vengeance on the blood of his children, and takes vengeance on his adversaries, and repays those who hate him, and cleanses his people's land.